Yes friends, we are continuing with the topic that is the consequences of the shock therapy. In the consequences of the shock therapy, what is the main important thing? Main important thing is that in this social welfare schemes were destroyed. What we have done? That what were the causes that why USSR was a superpower? Why it was considered as a superpower? Because they were introducing many welfare schemes for the children welfare, for the education, for the health purposes. So they were giving so many welfare schemes for the people of their country. That's why it was a country where the economic equality was very much there. There was no rich and poor was there. So economic equality, all the people were giving because the government was spending a lot on the basic amenities of the people, basic needs of the people. So now what was happened? Now these schemes all disappeared. No schemes was there. That people were not given any welfare schemes, not in the case of child welfare or for the health purposes or for the education purposes. They were not getting any welfare schemes now. Number 2, withdrawal of the subsidies. We have done it there also this point. Subsidies were given on the things that are needed in the person's daily life. So all the people were getting the things at the cheaper rates, at the reasonable rates. So everybody can afford that. That's why their standard of living was equal. They were able to meet their needs. But now what happened? Now these subsidies were also being removed. These subsidies also been withdrawn, and this pushed the people into the poverty. Now the people earlier, no poverty was there in USSR because it was very much industrial, producing everything. All the people were having the work, so that's why all the people were having the work. So that's why they were able to earn the money, and that's how the people were not in poor condition. Prices were very high of the things. Now, when the prices of the things of the essential commodities then went very high, people lost their savings because they spent all their money for purchasing all these essential commodities of the daily life. So, because the prices of the things went very high and they lost their savings also. Collective farming totally disappeared. Otherwise, what was collective farming? That was introduced by Stalin after the Lenin. Stalin was the successor of the Lenin. So Stalin introduced this collective farming. What this collective farming was? All the people pooled all the fields, and they in the collective way they were doing the farming, and the benefit of that, the profit of that was shared among the people according to the needs of the family. So it was now totally disappeared. Now, academics and intellectuals. Intellectuals means the persons who can understand the reasoning, they can do the reasoning, why, how. So that were the intellectuals. They migrated to the other countries. All these and criminal types of people started to control the maximum economic activities of the country. So it was the people who were using the money as well as the muscle power. So they were controlling all the economic activities of the Russia. And privatization led to the diversities. Now because now the privatization was there in your country, privatization is there. What is there? Rich is very rich, poor is very poor. So now the economic inequalities existed over there. The population was divided into rich and poor sections. So now maximum economic inequality existed over there, and that's why the country that was divided into the two diversities, that was rich and poor diversities. So democratic institutions were also set up because now we were having the democracy. Now we were introducing with the capitalism. In this capitalism, democratic institution, what are these democratic institutions? That is the parliament, democratic institution, that is the executive, and that is the judiciary, that is the democratic institutions. So such type of institutions now were set up, because it was not a one party rule now. It was the party that all the people, they were getting, they were participating in the activities of the political system of the country. So these democratic institutions were also set up in the country. So that is what, these all are the reasons. So very important, this question is all very, very important in itself. That is the consequences of the shock therapy. We will continue it with tomorrow also. So today we are doing it up to here. Democratic institutions were also set up in the country. Okay, beta?